the, last two. So here's the multi-view orthographic homework. And you'll see that it's the drawings that we just started on. Canvas is so slow. That's just me. So here are the drawings. These are the 3 drawings that you're going to do for homework. But in addition, I want to make sure that you're comfortable with the line types. So I want you to take a look at this for a minute. Let me make this a little bit larger for you. Okay, so visible lines represent what? The edges that you can see, and they're thick lines, right? What are hidden lines? They're edges that you can't see, and they're denoted as dashes. And are they thick or thin? Thin. Here's another type of line, a section line. And Andrew had asked, what if a part is more complex and just drawing the 3 views isn't enough? There are times where you cut a part and see what it looks like inside. And that's what the section lines are. They are lines, thin or thick? Thin, that are used to just show what it looks like inside. Okay, how about center lines? Center lines, are they thin or thick? Again, thin. They're telling you 0.8 millimeters, 0.35 millimeters. Don't worry about that. Just know whether they're thin or thick. Center lines, notice when there's a circle, there's a little crosshair in the center, right? Let me blow this up a little. See how there's a little crosshair in the center? And then there's a space and then lines that go outside the area that it's describing. So in this case, there's a hole being cut. So these lines go outside that hole, but in addition, there's an arc here that's cut. So this line goes all the way outside the arc as well. Does everybody see that? So there's always a crosshair, and then the line goes outside the circle that's showing you where the cut is. And because this is also a circle, the center line goes outside there. Notice here, this is called a slot. It's like a semicircle hole plus a rectangular hole, and you see how there's crosshairs in here as well. Yes,
so on
Andrew.
the section line of the
Yes, the section
the
line.
slanted one, so that's inside the material, and where there's not the section lines, that's like a
A hole. Right, exactly, good. Yes. Yeah.
So
Donovan.
the line below the section line, what are those called? And what are they, the thin ones below the section line?
These,
Yeah,
the
so-
center lines.
And what are those used to convey?
It's to show where a hole is.
Okay.
So here's a center line, and they're called center lines, and they're thin lines that have a little dash in the center. So here's an example of a center line. It has crosshairs and then lines. It's used to show where a hole is drilled. Edwin?
Are those center lines on the section line too, on the drawing?
You do not show center lines where there's a section.
No, I mean, those ones?
Oh yeah, these are center lines, because in this spot, there's a hole. This is a hole that's cut right through, and here's a center line. Right, right.
So like for the whole circle, if you had a hole inside, then the center lines would go out on all 4 of the center lines would go out.
That's correct, because here's a circle, and these lines go outside this circle. But because this curve is described by the same center, this line goes outside that curve as well.
But not the other 2.
Not the other 2, because there's no curve here.
Yeah.
Good, good questions. Okay, then there's something called dimension lines and extension lines. The lines that extend from the part are called extension lines, and the dimension lines are the lines that have an arrow here. Can you see the arrow? There's a little arrow here. So these are extension lines, and here's the dimension, and these are dimension lines. Then there are some other lines as cutting plane, short break line, long break line, phantom line, sitch line, so there's a lot of these other lines as well. So let me go back. How do I get back to, there? In this line type notes, there's a number of sheets here, and it all has the same information, it's just giving you different examples of lines. Here's another one, they're showing you a picture that uses those lines and labeling it. And then here's the information about those lines. Then here again, so I have 3 sheets, 4 sheets, 5 sheets, 6 sheets. So I have 6 sheets here of information about lines. So what I'd like us to do now, just for 5 minutes, take a look at this drawing, which is probably page 5 or so in there, in the packet. And I want you to work with the person next to you to put the names of the lines here. Now, it's a little